Our project is a technology fair project. We took our cameras and cell phones.
And so we started asking questions to people. What is spay-neuter? Why are so many animals in shelters euthanized each year?
There were questions that we didn't know. And we were asking other people to ask questions for us. And that's how we got our answers.
What's spay-neutering?
Spay-neutering is when you fix an animal when it's about to get babies. It's okay if you don't know.
I don't know what spay-neuter is.
That's why we ask questions to learn.
We learned that...
What is spay-neuter and how does it help animals?
Spay-neutering? I don't really know. I don't really know how to say it. Spay-neuter.
Do you know anything about spay and neuter? What's that mean?
To get them fixed.
You know what fixing animals are?
Fixing animals, kind of like washing with the vet, stuff like that.
If an abused dog is laying down on the ground with the owner, what would you do?
I would say, is this your dog? And if he said yes, I would probably punch him to a pulp. If he's too big, I'd just probably kick him a lot. And then I'd take the dog home, feed it, and care for it, you know?
Good job. If you're driving on the road and you see an abused animal on the side of the road, what would you do?
I would stop and I would pick it up and I would take it to the animal shelter.
You?
I would stop and try to find the owner, and then if I couldn't find the owner, then I would call for help.
Okay. What is spay-neuter and how does it help animals?
In spaying, I believe, is what they do for females, and neuter is what they do for males. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know.
Spaying and neutering is when you have the dogs altered so that they can't have babies or make babies.
Like right now, this is the very beginning of breeding season. You can see that our intake area is just maxed out with little puppies and cats pregnant and giving birth. We've had one giving birth all day today right here.
So how do we stop this?
Spay neuter. Spay neuter.
How do you explain spay and neuter? Do it. Do it for the animals. Do it for us. Do it for the shelters.
The reason to do this is there's already too many, and we don't need animals just being thrown out because there's nowhere for them.
It's the responsible thing to do.
It's irresponsible not to spay and neuter. It's heavily irresponsible
Because it prevents people who own pets that can't take care of more than they already have.
There's just so many more of them than there are people willing to give homes.
Prevents their pets from having more.
Fixing it so they cannot have puppies or kittens.
We have so many end up in our shelters already that we really need to work on not having unwanted animals being born in the first place.
So the safest thing and the best thing for them is to spay and neuter them. If you spay them and neuter them, they have less disease, they have less cancer. It prevents males from chasing after females. There's just a lot of benefits for the animal and the public to have this done.
What is the difference between fostering a pet and adopting?
When you adopt a dog from a shelter, you give a dog a home rather than purchasing a dog from a breeder, which helps with the population control. When you foster a dog, you take the dog in and give it a home until it gets adopted or goes to rescue and finds its forever home.
I foster animals, and what that is I temporarily remove the animal from the shelter and I take care of it like it's my own dog until it either goes into a rescue or it finds its permanent home.
But fostering, you do those same things, but it's just a temporary thing. You just do it until someone does adopt it for life.
It's important to adopt than buy, because when you just buy, they just make at a pet store, when you just keep on buying, they make the dogs have more and more, and at the shelters, it's one dog's chance to finally actually have a home.
What is adopting? Adopting is when an animal or a child, but in this case an animal, doesn't have an owner and is very lonely, so a person will come and kind of rescue it and they'll make it theirs. and they'll feed it and treat it like it's their own and try to give it a home.
Rescuing is when you take an animal out of a bad situation and love and care for it.
What is rescuing? Rescuing is when you kind of, well, there's someone or something on the road, like something, and it's almost dead or something. So you pick it up and you just kind of take care of it and you rescue it.
What's a rescue?
With a rescue, the purpose is to move those unwanted animals into situations where they're safe and they are going to be nurtured and cared for until their forever home is found.
You can rescue all of your life. You can rescue till the day you die, and you've made a difference for those dogs, but you've not made a difference in the grand scheme of anything. You've not even gotten your head above water. Absolutely, you got to get to the root. Yeah, it's really bad.
And what's the best way to solve that?
Spay and neuter.
What do you do when you find a dog in the street?
Okay, so you found this dog today?
Yes. Yeah, I want to turn him in. That's why I brought him here.
That'll be a good example of what to do if you run into a situation.
See, I've always thought that's what you do. Is you take, whenever you have a stray, you bring him here, and they keep him 2 weeks. Nobody claims him.
7 days.
7 days.
Oh, is it 7? Okay.
And 7 days, is that correct?
It is 7 days, and then she'll be available for adoption.
Is that the proper thing to do?
Yes, yeah. If he finds one out in the county or on his property, it's not his. Yeah, the proper thing to do is to load it up and bring it to us. Yeah. It's better to get hit by a car or somebody being mean to it, definitely. We'll scan him when you bring him in, see if he's got a microchip. If he's got a microchip, we'll call the microchip company, give them that number, and they'll tell us who owns the dog.
Do it up and down to see if it'll read if it is one instead of it saying not found.
If it says no chip found, we hold it on the property and we place pictures of it on the Facebook and through social media and try to find the owner. If not, we give them shots, we vaccinate them, and we adopt them.
We can also track down pets owners by their rabies tags if they have them on. The rabies tag is linked to any vet that it's given. State law requires that a vet gives that vaccination. We can call, get the information, and then contact you and tell you you've lost your pet and where it is.
What can we do to help the shelter pets at the shelter?
There's several things that you can do to help the pets at the shelter.
Well, they can walk the dogs like I'm doing. They can give them love and affection so they won't feel sad.
You can donate items like food or toys. You can go visit them and walk and play with them.
Feed and water them.
And water, yes.
Clean their cages.
Even take out his poop.
Yeah, they get a little messy. Walk the dogs, clean cages sometimes, but mostly walk the dogs. He wants to assure them that they're going to get a home one day. That's what our hope is.
That really would brighten their day. And then also you can encourage all of your friends to adopt. If anyone's looking for a pet, always encourage them to go to the animal shelter or a rescue. Don't buy from breeders.
Adopt, don't buy, adopt.
And make sure that the pets you get don't end up at a shelter.
You can also sponsor, which I do. It's $55, and that will pay for a spay or neuter of your choice of any cat or dog. That will reduce their adoption fee, which will make them more adoptable.
I would like to say to challenge my friends to come here and work at this beautiful place called Animal Shelter.
The biggest thing that we as a community can do to help the number of animals euthanized yearly in shelters is to volunteer, donate, foster, and adopt, and by all means, number one, spay and neuter.
Animals in shelters each year are killed, which is very, very, very sad because they're healthy, adoptable animals that could be saved and put into nice homes, but people don't care for them. And we learned that you can share information about animals in shelters and dogs on social media. That helps that out a lot. Like, if you were to be on Facebook, you could send a picture of a dog in a shelter and people could go and help it. I like to thank people like this. Thank you for helping support animals in shelters and everything else you do for animals. Thank you.
Thank you for supporting animals, to not let them die, not let them be breeding. And thank you for helping and donating and fostering. We started asking questions, and it's okay if you don't know.
Why are so many animals in shelters euthanized each year? And what are different ways we can help animals or volunteer or donate for them in shelters? Animal Rescue by Nadia, Ashiana, and Dakshaya. In the United States, 2.9 million animals are euthanized each year. In other words, every 13 seconds, healthy, adoptable dogs and cats are killed. This is mostly due to overpopulation of shelters. Another sad situation is animal abuse and neglect.